Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Taylor Field, and yes, this is true. It is another week of me doing a solo review. What is going on? I don't know. Travis was supposed to be on this, but he's not because who in God's name knows what's going on? Horror movie. Maybe he was too afraid. No, I'm sure he loves these movies, and he loves doing those double podcasts with me. But he's not here, so I had to go and endure this movie. Not on my own. I had my significant other that almost broke my hand, but it was a great experience. The movie that I am reviewing is La Llorona. La Llorona. Another movie in the Conjuring Universe. Now, I own The Conjuring 1, The Conjuring 2, and Annabelle. Now, yes, this movie is an addition to the universe, and it's a very expansive universe, and I really enjoy how much this universe has offered, and it's gotten quite exciting. We got The Conjuring 3 coming out in a year. 2020, I believe, and Annabelle 3 is well on its way this year, so we're loaded for movies in this universe, which is fantastic. But yeah, so I'm going to do a quick non-spoilers review of La Llorona for all those people that don't want to get the heebie-jeebies. This is going to be for you. It's just for you guys. And then we'll get into some spoiler content. And this cast is going to be a quick 30 minutes. You know me. I like to give it to you straight. That 30-minute mark, just like Hellboy in the past, usually that 30 minutes. It's not too short, not too long. It's just the right amount of time, just, so it's pleasing. It's not, prolonged and exhausting, but just that right amount. So we got, it's been like, what, 2 minutes now? Almost 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. So, no spoilers. Yeah, the movie kicks off and, it didn't rely heavily on all those scare jumps. It built up the anticipation, and I feel like they played with so many different angles and perspectives to really freak you out and frighten you. And you're trying to predict and expect when it's going to happen, and you still can to a certain degree in this movie, but it does such a great job at not letting you know how it's going to actually execute these moments of being scared. And I quite enjoyed that because half the time I'm like thinking like, oh, should I look down or should I look back up, or like should I just like look away, or like I don't know, but it's coming, but I can't tell from what direction. Is it gonna be like literally over my shoulder or up on the ceiling? Like, oh my god, like, but it's great. So shout outs to the movie for that. I will say right off the bat, this movie is definitely above The Nun for me. The Nun in The Conjuring 2 scared the jeebus out of me. But The Nun in the Nun movie, start off strong. Check out my review for that. Definitely sank. But Llorona, nanny babysitter girl, yeah, she's up there for me. She's freaky. Definitely wouldn't want to go toe to toe with her. Yeah, but as far as other non spoilers go, the cast was great. The acting was very well done, and I really felt for the characters, what they were going through, and I like when there's a character brought into this kind of story that I really root for. And I'll get more into it in the spoilers portion of this, but like I start like cheering in my chair. I start like shaking my fists like, yeah, come on. And I start like, when you're at like the races and you're trying to bet on a horse and the horse is neighing on his way to like first place, you're like, come on. And you're just trying to get him on. And that's me. I'm rooting for these characters, and I love when a movie does that. It's just it's brilliant. It's great. But yeah, no, we're getting it. There's just so much I gotta get into in the spoilers. Like, there's so many juicy ones, like paranormal deterrence that I want to talk about. And but yeah, it's just so cool to have this movie be an addition to the Conjuring universe and everything that's going on. I will go ahead and say this movie does not have a post-credit scene. I sat around, made my girlfriend wait, and we went through the credits, which were very eerie, but there was no post-credit scene, so you don't have to wait around. And it's strange because usually all these movies actually have a post-credit scene, but hey, it's okay. I'm not complaining. I got 2 more movies. And yeah, it's an expansive universe. Watch out, Marvel, MCU. This universe is coming for you. Probably not, but anyways, so I'm gonna dive into the spoilers now. I think there's not much to be said non-spoiler wise for a horror movie. So 3, 2, 1. If you haven't seen the movie, pause here, go check it out, then come back, and we'll get into the deets. Or if you don't care, you're not gonna watch the movie. If you're a Kirkland, just stick around, enjoy the fun. That's all I can say. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Okay. So the movie starts off and we get to explore like the good old 1600s of Mexico, as they call it, Mexico. So you see 2 kids, a guy and a chick, and they're dancing around, having a good time, thinking, this is great. This is just horror movies. They do this. They start off on like a high note. You think things are great, and then they bring it down, not 1 notch, not 2, but like all the way down to your toes. They just bring the notches down, and it just gets like wild. So sure enough, you got 2 little boys. They're playing, and the one boy covers his eyes. You're like, oh, okay, he's playing. And he opens his eyes and everyone's gone. It's like, well, where'd the dad go? Where'd his brother and the mom go? And he's walking around. He's like, mama, mama, mama. And he's like walking, and he goes to the stream and he sees the mom drowning the kid. And he's like, mama. And at this point, it's like, signal 1, your parents are gone. Signal 2, your mom is drowning your brother. Signal 3, don't call for her name. You get the hell out of there. He did that after she was like, ugh. And that's signal 4. You hear the fucking ugh, then you hightail the frig out of there. You get your little legs moving and you book it. Any mom that does that, ugh, like you're in the doghouse. You're in the wrong part of town. You gotta get out of there. And so the boy did. He started to run, and I'm rooting for him. I started running, trying to make sure he can go, but he didn't get very far. The mom grabbed him, and we know that he got drowned too. So this is the start of La Llorona and her insidious attitude and ways. But it moves along, and we get to see the child services worker, and she basically is working on a case, goes with a cop to deal with this woman who is like obviously hiding her kids out, and we learn that she locked her kids in the closet, and she's blaming the child services woman for unlocking the closet door and letting the kids out. But I mean, what do you think is gonna happen? I know you're terrified of this demon chick, and you got every right to be, but damn, if the cop comes to your door and you can get your kids locked in the closet, that's not gonna help your cause very much. So needless to say, the kids got taken away and put in a nice, safe, safe hospital place, and for kids and stuff like that. So it was all great and dandy, but sure enough, it's that night, and you see, you hear like a crying, and you see the one boy, because there were 2 boys, they're brothers, and the one brother is standing in the doorway. And this is again, like, I swear, like, I like kids. I'm gonna have kids. I like kids. I want to be a father, but I swear, kids and demons, they don't mix. I think kids are the deterrent for getting you. They're gonna mess you up. They're gonna get you. They're expensive. And I'm not like an Alan Grant here with kids where they're noisy, they smell, baby smell, like he says in Jurassic Park. I'm not like that. But when it comes to demons, they're gonna fudge you up, because here's this kid and he's standing in the doorway and the brother's like, what was his name? Tomas, what you doing, Tomas? And Tomas, like, the light flares and then Tomas is gone. It's like, oh, here we go. So the boy walks out and sees Tomas is down the hallway and the lights are flaring, and the light flares again, and he's like, Tomas, and now he's gone. He walks around the corner and he's like, Tomas, and the boy's gone, and then he walks around the corner, Tomas, and then the boy is standing there facing him, like, okay, this is a little eerie now. When the boy stops moving, something's gonna happen, and then the light flickers and the boy's pointing up to the ceiling, and the other little boy looks up behind him at the mirror, the corner mirror, flicking around corners. I'm a big user of corner mirrors, and They're very helpful. You know, if you're waiting to see her on the corner for that four-legged fucker coming at you, you use those corner mirrors. They work. So, anyways, so they look and you see Llorona just casually walking down the hall, and she gets close enough that the mirror cracks, and then it ends. That's, you know, what are the kids gonna do? You know, there's nothing they can really do. They're offending for themselves. So, the caretaker chick gets the phone call and goes down to the docks where they see the two dead boys. The cops are all there, and it's very sad. And her husband has passed away, so unfortunately she had to take her children with her daughter and her son. And daughter's asleep in the car, and the son is in the car awake. So she's like, okay, just keep your sister asleep, stay in the car, all dandy. And she goes down, and she's like, oh no, it's the boys, this is horrible. And it's very sad, and the cop's like, we don't know what's going on, and all that's happening. But sure enough, here's what the kids think again. The kids and demons, they don't mix. So the little boy's like, yo, I'm gonna go check out what's going down. And he goes out of the car, and he goes up in this grungy little area over top of the underpass, and he's like looking down at the crime scene. And then you hear I do a horrible interpretation of a woman crying, but that's a woman crying, La Llorona. And all of a sudden, like you can see behind him on the other side of the grated fence, you see this like figure of a woman crying. Now there, just like I said earlier, that's check one. You know, you see that, like, okay, your first instinct is to make sure they're okay. In this situation, you know, you're like a 12, 11-year-old boy. There's not much you can do. You know, you turn around and you go tell the cops, hey, there's a woman crying up there. You know, go check it out. I think she's hurt. But no. Mark 1. So he walks towards the fence. That's Mark 2. You don't walk. No. Middle of the night, woman's crying. You know, you're a 10-year-old, 12-year-old boy. I don't know what you're going to do. You got to go to the cops. But that's Mark 2. He walks to it. Strike 3. I'm calling them strikes now because this escalates. The lady chick, she stops crying and she stands up. Now this is where you know shit is going down because all you hear is, Niño? And then, now that is strike fucking 4. You need to stop, you need to turn around, you need to you don't stand there, you don't have your hands up on the fence because now this thing is walking towards you. And now you know that this is seriously, it's some deep doo-doo. This is not good. This is bad for you, for her, for everyone. Well, not for her, but everyone else. So that happens, and then like she just stands there, and then she like quickly disappears in the shadow, and it's like, what's going on? And of course now she's on his side of the fence, and like, and that's when he like freaks out, and he hightails it, runs back to the car, opens the door, closes it. The sister is like, what's going on? And he's trying to close the door, and it happens so fast, I didn't catch into it, but he opens the door, closes it, opens the door, closes it, it's not closing. The third time, he opens it, he sees the blanket, rips the blanket in. As soon as he swings the door in and closes it, Lorna's face is on the fucking car window, and it scared the shit out of me. You see the whole face, her features and everything, and it ain't good. So, she freaks, and then the little girl's like, oh, I don't see anything. And he's like, you didn't see that? And then now the car, this is in the, God, what was it, like the 70s? Yeah, 70s. So it was a wooden side paneled vehicle. And now you see, it had those old school, well, not old school because they still get used today, but it wasn't electronic window levers. It was the window lever thing. Now the window lever is starting to like spin, and you're like, okay, so now Llorona is like going full lever here and is like leveraging her way in because it's spinning and the window's coming down. You're like, okay, kid, come on. And the kid starts like fighting it. I'm like rooting for this kid. Come on, kid. And he's like rolling it back up. And then the one in the front goes and he's rolling that back up. And then the car doors unlock and the door swings open. The mom comes in and she's like, oh, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah. At this point, you know, don't just tell your parents what you saw because, you know, that's some serious stuff. Anyways, so moving along, you know, it's crazy. They go home, and then sure enough, now after the boys' experience, the daughter's having an experience. And this is just nuts. It gets super, super nuts. So the daughter, she's outside, and she hears the crying. It's super stormy outside. It's not good. It's horrible. She hears the crying, and she goes out, and she, like, looks through the fence, and, like, you're waiting for something to jump up, and nothing's jumping up, but you hear the crying, and she, like, stops, like, okay, and she turns around, she's playing with her umbrella in the storm and stuff like that, and she's facing the pool, and she pops her umbrella open, and through her umbrella, she sees fucking La Llorona just standing there at the edge of the pool. I'm thinking, you know what? I just got a brand new umbrella, and now I don't need that brand new umbrella, me twirling around in the rain, because, you know, there's storms here. I don't want to be seeing stuff through my fucking umbrella, you know? And now this movie's ruined it for me. I had a great umbrella, and now I'm going to be seeing shit through it, because apparently umbrellas are a doorway to see things, and I don't even see how La Llorona's popping up every left, right, and center, like Jesus. So that being said, she sees this thing, and then she closes or lifts her umbrella up, and the thing is gone, and she just casually starts dancing around, playing again. I'm thinking, oh, these kids and demons, they don't mix together. I'm telling you. So needless to say, again, like her umbrella blows out of her hand, and it's slowly moving closer and closer to the pool. I'm thinking, okay, you know, there comes a point. If it's blown into the pool, every time you try and grab it, you just let it go. You know, let it go, just go. You just don't touch stuff like that. And sure enough, no, she's going to grab it. Of course, why wouldn't she? She's an umbrella in the pool, she's going to get it, so she gets it. And as she gets it, and she, like, flips it up, there's La Llorona seeing through the umbrella again. She, like, grabs her wrist and does, like, the burn thing she did to her brother earlier, and just horrible, and she freaks out. And does she tell the mom? No. Why are the kids going to tell the mom? You know, they both had the same experience. They're not going to say anything. So they don't say anything. And now we know where it's headed. It's going to be the mom's time to get freaked out. So the kids both have more experiences. And the mom is, like, walking around the house hearing things. And there's you know something's going down. So the mom's walking around and hears, like, doo, doo, doo. And she goes to the front door and sees her son sleepwalking, opening the door, slamming it, opening and slamming it. And she, like, shakes him, wakes him up, and is like, okay, son, you know, is everything okay? What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's get you to bed. The door on the chain breaks open, swings open, and then swings back closed, knocking them all down. She's like, oh, well, let's get you to bed. Let's get you to bed, huh? And thinking, what? That's a huge sign that something's not right. You heard noises in the house, and this door just swung open and swung closed. You know, I've seen doors swing open and swing closed, but, you know, there's a standard to that. And this standard was broken in this situation. But, needless to say, she took the kid upstairs, and when she took the son and tucked him in, then she went and heard noises in her room, and her papers were flown everywhere. But then she looks down and sees the door of her daughter's room opening up, and then you see in the mirror on the front of the door, La Llorona's just chilling in the corner of the room. And so she runs to go get it, but then her door slams closed, and she's banging on the door. And she's banging it. She turns around to get the baseball bat and turns around. And when she turns around, La Llorona's standing in the doorway. And this is what I'm talking about, deterrence. You know, you got the priests doing all their stuff, doing all their like cleansing and everything, which is great. But this deterrent, La Llorona was marching towards her, but as soon as she turned around with that bat, La Llorona, she fucking stopped dead in her tracks. And this chick, she was ready to go with this bat. She's like, what are you doing in my house? What are you doing in my house? And La Llorona's like standing there knowing, like, I ain't going near this baseball bat because this baseball bat is going to do stuff to her. And sure enough, like, she didn't do anything as long as the chick got the baseball bat. Because the kids opened the door and the mom's like, okay, we're going to sleep in here tonight. It's all good. And they weren't bothered for the rest of the night. Baseball bat. So next day, she realizes, like, okay, we're going to go get some help. We're going to talk to the priest. And she goes and talks to the priest. Now, here's the great part. It all comes back down to Annabelle. Because the priest who was in this Annabelle movie, and I'll point out here, if you're watching the video version, you can see there's the demon version of the priest, but it was the priest who helped them in it was the first Annabelle movie, but now amongst all the Annabelle movies, it's actually the second Annabelle movie, so it's not Annabelle Creation, it's the one that was released before that, but in the storyline, the sequel to Annabelle Creation, and before Annabelle 3, and before the Conjuring movies. So it's that doctor, and he goes into detail about how, you know, I didn't believe in this hocus pocus, but then I had an experience with a doll, and we get a flash scene of him holding the Annabelle doll, and it's like, ooh, oh, that stress is coming back. So it all comes back to the Annabelle, and but sure enough, you know, he's like, you know, we can't help you, you know, with cases like this. There are special people that help, but it takes a few weeks. And the mom's like, you know, we can't last a few weeks. And I agree, you know, you ain't gonna last a few weeks. This thing, it just came at you, and if you didn't have the bat, it would have got you. But the guy's like, okay, well, there's another guy that's local. You get that kind of like nod, like I need an exterminator. It's like, well, check out my buddy here. He's local. He'll hook you up, and that's exactly what happened. This guy, he was unorthodox, is what the priest told the mother. But she went in for it, and he was like super friendly, and this is the guy that I started to like connect with. I'm like, this is the guy I'm gonna root for, because he knows what he's doing. He's collecting all his ingredients and everything. He has some of Llorona's tears that he like blessed and everything, which is fantastic. And so as this is like progressing on now, he's like gearing up. He's gonna help this family. They go to the house, and he lines up not traps but like defenses everywhere, and puts the family inside a circle of candles and gets them all safe. And he's like, okay, now as long as the candle's flame is still and strong, the defenses are up, so she can't get you. And so they're chilling there, and then you hear a thump upstairs, and it's like, holy shit, like they're like, what is that, what's she doing? And the priest is like, oh, he can't find you. He's looking for you. And that's when it's like, oh, the wave of goosebumps. Like, I got goosebumps on me right now just talking about it. Like, it was freaky. So, that happens, and, like, all of a sudden you can kind of see the body shape appear on the staircase. It's like, oh, God. Ooh. And so, she then does this huge roar, and the candles all blow out, extinguish. I'm thinking, well, the still flame is gone, so they're fucked. Candles didn't do much. So the mom got backhanded, like force ghost backhanded into the wall, and she's unconscious. The kids are running for themselves, and they're like, Father, help us. And he just kind of backs away in the darkness. So I'm thinking, no, my guy, he's backing away. He's terrified. He's not going to help. But then, the kids are hiding under the table, and Llorona grabs him and, like, grabs the boy and starts dragging the boy out through the front door, and the mom's, like, back awake and trying to get to him and stuff like that. And if it was me, I'd be full-on sprinting. I'd be going for that touchdown. I'd be grabbing that kid. And, she's just misses him. She trips. And then all of a sudden, the priest grabs his wrist before he's out the door. And then you see he's holding onto the boy, and you see full-on Llorona just on the outside, like trying to drag the kid. And this is where I really root for him. He grabs his holy water with tears and stuff, and he just whips that at her face, and she's like, ah! And it's just like, yeah, fucking burn that ghoul, that ghast. And she's screaming, and I'm like, yes, this is it, you're putting up your fight. Get the bat again. And so they get the kid in, and then he like slams the door, and he like layers the tree of fire seeds along the doorway, and is like, as long as this line isn't disturbed, she'll never get into the house, but she's gonna try. And so that's great, that's perfect. It's like, yep, now we'll live in the house forever, she'll never get inside. So sure enough, the mom's like, you used my son as bait, and he's like, no. Like, you used all of us as bait? No. And she's like, well, what about the candles? He's like, well, the candles weren't going to do anything anyways. It's like, oh, so he kind of did use them as bait, but that's fine, because he got Llorona out of the house and saved the day. So you'd think they had to run to the back door and close it, because she was kicking the back door down. And while that happened, the little girl saw that her doll was on the outside of the front door. So she opens the door, and she's trying not to cross the line and get her doll. Again, this is the kids and demons thing. They don't bloody go together. She's trying to get her doll. And the whole time I'm shaking my head thinking, no, why are you doing this? Why are you gonna do this? Anyways, she's leaning over, and she's not scraping the seeds, and she grabs her doll, and her mom sees her now and is running towards her saying, what are you doing? And the girl's like, it's okay, Mom, I found the doll, and I didn't even scrape and mess up the line of seeds. As she scrapes the doll through the seeds and breaks the lie. And as soon as she does that, the mom gets backhanded by Force Ghost again, and the girl gets flung out. Like, she flies. I think she went like 30, 40 feet from the hall all the way out the door, and the door closed. Doors are closing left, right, and center in this movie. Oh my God. So sure enough, she gets flung out the house, and she's thrown into the pool, and the mom dives into the pool trying to get the daughter. And as she dives in, it's like, oh god, now she's got a flashlight. She can't see anything. The father and the brother, the son, come running out. And as they're outside trying to, see what's going on, the mother sees the little girl and tries to grab her. But Llorona's in the pool and she's grabbing her and they're choking and drowning and it's crazy. And so what the father does, the priest, he takes some something. I don't know what it was. It looked like salt, and he throws it in the water and he starts blessing the water. I'm like, yeah, roast this bitch alive. Get this fucking ghastly ghoul and just fucking fry her. And he's doing it. He's saying the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm not a religious man myself, so I don't know how to recite the lines. But this guy did, and he was doing it, and he was killing this demon. She was frying in that holy water because he blessed the whole pool, and that whole pool is holy water, and she got fried. So the mom got the daughter out. It was great. It was fantastic. So sure enough, they rescue the kids, and Llorona, though, she's still going ham. She's not done. So they lock her into they lock the kids in the closet. And then unfortunately what happens is somehow the mom who lost her two boys at the beginning from childcare services is like, I'm gonna get revenge. I prayed for Llorona to come and take your kids so she could get my kids back instead of praying for their safety to heaven and stuff like that. I'm thinking, that is just so horrible. Your poor children. Pray for their safe journey to the beyond. Don't pray to take this other woman's kids. That's... yikes. That's very vindictive. So she had a gun and she shoots the priest and she's like, I prayed for Llorona to take your kids. She's getting your kids and giving mine back. It's like, that's not how that works. Your kids are dead. They won't be coming back. I'm sorry. And so Llorona comes in and she just starts force ghost slapping everybody. All the moms are all slapped. And the kids are running, and as the kids are running, they manage to grab Llorona's necklace. And so they're running, and like all the doors are closing around them, and as they're like up the top of the stairs, the one boy gets the stick. And this is what I hate. In old houses, you got the attics with the door, the thing above you, and you pull it down with a stick, and has the ladder come down, you climb to the attic. Brutal stuff. Shit's scary up there. So anyways, the boy's trying to do it. He pulls it down, and Llorona's coming up the stairs. There's no stopping her now. So they climb up the ladder, and they're like trying to close it. And as they're just pulling up the rope and closing the ladder into the ceiling, you see Llorona really at the bottom of it. It's like, excuse me, what? It's like, oh my god, like my hands are on my knees and I'm shaking. Like, come on, kids, you can do it. I'm rooting for you. So they get up to the attic safely, and once they're up there, then stuff starts going wild because then you see that the ladder just comes back down. You think, oh well, that was useless. So Llorona's up there, and Llorona, she's coming at them, and then the boy like whips out her necklace, and then as she like comes out of the darkness, she's all looking human again, and it's fine. But then the girl, sister behind the brother, like leans back and pulls a drape off a mirror, and you see the ugly face. Llorona turns from human to ugly and is like, ah, again. And by this time, the mom and the priest get up there, and the priest is like, vengeful spirit, and then just gets forced ghost backhanded. He's been shot by the other crazy mom, and he's been blasted back with his cross or whatever, and then the mom runs up and is like, give me my kids back, and the kids run and get behind her, and Llorona is now full vengeful spirit mode, like full Super Saiyan, and is like gliding towards them, and the father is like, or the priest is like, mother lady figure, and like kicks the cross he was holding straight to her, and she grabs the cross and she pounds it right into Llorona's heart, and Llorona just starts to like shrivel up, and then her spirit ends up dying, and it's like, whew. And that's it. Then he goes off, and that's literally not literally how the movie ends, but the movie progresses a little bit. It's the next day where the guy gets into a taxi, and he's like, you guys are both very brave kids, and yeah, and the mom, they leave that eeriness, like, oh god, something's gonna happen. They show the reflection of the mom looking in a puddle, and you can kind of think, oh my god, is something gonna pop up in the window of the house when the kids are going inside? But nope, kids are safe, and that's that. So it was a crazy good movie, and I definitely put it way over The Nun for sure. But I do recommend seeing this. For my theater, it was definitely very empty, which I'm quite surprised. Obviously, people are saving their $10 for Marvel's Endgame Avengers, which is understandable. But I do recommend this movie. It was definitely a who and a hat of a time, and it was freaky. Yeah, there were many scenes that just freaked me out, like the bathroom scene again. I didn't even cover this part, but when the girl it was in the trailers, the girl was having the bath, and Larona's like rubbing her hair, and the mom. The mom is downstairs, and you can hear someone kicking in the bathtub, and the mom is like, "You okay?" And then she's like, "If you know something is wrong, why are you taking your time and going up and running to the rescue?" She runs to the rescue, and she goes in there, and the kids are. She gets the daughter out of the bathtub safely, and the kids are like both pointing, and they're like, "Mom," and she like turns around. Lorona is right in front of her face, and she just starts screaming like, "Whoa!" And the mom gets fried on her wrist a bit, like backs out, and then she like slams the door. And ghosts, I guess, can't get through doors very well because doors always seem to hold ghosts back. But she closed the door, and you just hear like the whole house is shaking. You hear "Whoa!" in the bathroom, and the door like swings open, and just completely black in the bathroom, and everyone runs out. And yeah, the bathroom is black, and the camera is slowly zooming into the bathroom. I'm thinking, oh, God damn it, just scare me and be gone and be done with it. What do you think you're doing? But nothing happened, so it was fine. But that's when they ran to the church to get help. But yeah, so be careful when you're having a bath because something might happen. But yeah, this movie though overall, I know if you were here last week when I was reviewing Hellboy, I gave Hellboy a passing grade. This one, I think it earns its passing grade. I can't remember what I gave The Nun. I don't think I gave The Nun a very high mark, but this movie, I would easily give it a 7 out of 10. It had me on edge. I really enjoyed it. My girlfriend really enjoyed it. She punched herself by accident because when she wanted the kids to get out the ladder, she was like, and she like smacked her like fist in her jaw. I felt really bad when she told me that, and she squeezed my hand. And the scares are always a fun thing. So I recommend going with friends. You can all hold each other's hands, and you can be scared. And thankfully, people were fairly quiet in this movie. There wasn't much talking, which is good. Because horror movies, don't talk in them. And don't bring your kids. Kids and demons, they don't mix. So yeah, easy 7 out of 10 for me. Definitely a really solid movie. But yeah, other than that, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to this second weekly review that's been done by me. I can't believe it. Like, what is going on? This is like unbelievable. But here it is. And next week I'll be solo reviewing Avengers. I'm just kidding. I will be reviewing Avengers Endgame next week. It's going to be unbelievable. I can't believe we're here. Just try. You take it from me. Please avoid spoilers. If you got your tickets for next week for Avengers Endgame, just watch out online. Watch out for groups. There's spoilers that have leaked for this movie. And just cut yourself off. I've been spoiled. For Star Wars Force Awakens, I remember it was horrible. Someone spoiled that for me. I saw the pictures. Oh my God. It was an hour before I was going to see the movie. There's some bastards out there that are very, very mean people. And they don't appreciate, everyone having the equal opportunity to sit down and appreciate a film in the theater, and this is a huge climactic experience. So just be careful. And yeah. Until next time, watch out for La Llorona and ghosts and Baba Yagas and stuff, and we'll see you in the search bar. Have a good one.